Evening, everybody. I want to thank you so much for coming tonight. It is going to be some night. This is a different one for us on a Thursday, and it's going to be wonderful testimonies that you're going to hear tonight. My name is Margie Payne, and I'm a senior director in LifeWave. And this is my husband, Mike Payne, who has never given his testimony before. I've been the one giving his testimony, and now you're going to find out for those people I told it to if I was telling the truth or not. But we're going to be speaking for the first part of this, and then right afterwards, you are going to hear, I believe it's 6 full amazing testimonies. And you're going to be sitting there saying, oh, this person needed to hear this or this person, but the whole thing tonight is going to be recorded and you can always find it in the library. But what happened is Charity's on an airplane right now. So we didn't beam her in like Star Trek. She pre-recorded with all these wonderful people, and you're going to see it tonight with Charity and all these people. But Mike and I are going to get started because we are alive. And we are here to tell you about, actually all about Mike's experience, not mine. You can get me anytime. This is something real special for me. And Mike, why did you get into the patches, wearing patches?
Because you told me to.
That's right.
Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And what happened? What happened at the beginning, the first couple of weeks?
Well, I started taking the patches. I'd heard a lot of good things, and I heard David Schmidt a time or two, and I thought he was very bright and very knowledgeable. And I started wearing the patches every day. And I would say that right off the bat, I started getting my brain fog. Sometimes wasn't as much as it usually was, and I just felt better. And I can talk about some specific things later on, but I just felt better when I got started. I slept better, I had more energy, and it was just good. I liked the patches right from the start.
That's right. And what happened is, I want you to keep in mind, when we started this, it was a little over 3 years ago. So at that time, Mike was 72, and he's now 75. And so if you know people who are in their 70s, there's hope for some of the things. And if you're going through some of these things, because when we went to go over our little 3-year history of some main points, it went, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. That was really bad, and now it's good. So I'm going to share my screen for a second so I could remind you all of something. This is how you've been meeting my husband when I've been with you. And that's through his before and after 3 months of what happened with patching. And this is another way you've been meeting my husband. Yes, that's his elbow. Karen made him prove it was his elbow by showing how good he looked right now. But I'm going to stop that so you can see. Do you want to show him your elbow? There you be. Can everybody see that elbow? What you don't know is that, what was it, about 2 weeks after this healing, how gruesome, what happened to you?
I did it again. And it looked even worse than that picture you just saw. So I'm not happy about that, but things in life happen and you either deal with it or you give up. And I'm not a giver-upper.
So we patched again.
That's right.
Well, we just did it again.
That's right. And the pain medication that they gave me for that, I had a reaction to, made me throw up. So what I just did was took a LifeWave and I put the white one on the right side and the brown one on the left, just like I was told to do. And it kept pain. I just really didn't have much pain at all after that.
Yeah, and you were doing Eon on there, and you were doing X39 and Ice Wave. That's what he's talking. If you're brand new, the dark and the light, you find out about it. And I said to him, if your pain doesn't get down to 2 from 10, then we're going to call the doctor and try another prescription, because it was a pretty rough operation. And he got down to 2 and never had to take painkillers again. He just patched it all out both times, the first time and the second time. By the way, the second time was so bad, he fell on the same elbow where he had the operation, that the cut was so bad. I don't want you to get grossed out, but I could see right through to the steel plate in his arm. So we're beyond that. But we're going to go backwards for a minute, because that with the elbow happened about 6 months ago. Now, 3 months, 3.5 months into it, Mike is a type 1 diabetic. He's not owning it. None of us own diseases, but that's what he's been dealing with and fighting. And he called me in to see something that happened to him. Can you explain about the foot?
The foot. Yes, I have 2 feet, and both my feet started looking better. I believe that I was putting Alavita near the feet, and a lot of the purple and the splotches and it just wasn't looking good. Anyway, it started looking a whole lot better, and I know that the patches had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, they were dark purple. They were dark purple. And when he asked me to look at them, they had turned a lighter pink. And so what it told us, that the patches don't go where you're asked them to go. We asked them to go to the pancreas. They ended up going to circulation that he needed in his body. And for those people out there who might be type 1, in the first year of patching, what happened to your A1C?
My A1C was around 11 or 12, over 12 at one time, which is way high. And but the needs is a whole lot better now, because with the help of continuous glucose monitor, a Dexcom that I wear, and prayer. I don't want to leave that out, because that's very important in my life. I'm averaging now in the 7s, in the low 7s.
Yeah.
That's what it's been for quite a while.
That's right. And before that, he was in the 11 to 13 range. Now, normal for non-diabetics is 5s. So he was way up there for about 10, 15 years. Doctors could not get it down. Changed eating, had all sorts of variations of insulin. Nothing was getting it down. And then the patches and his Dexcom helped to monitor. But we saw within a year, he was down to, like he said, in the low 7s. And they kept bringing down his insulin, what he needed. It kept coming down. So that was pretty exciting. Now, we're going to bring you up to date. The cool part about the patches, and if you're new, whatever you do, don't quit. You know, David says 1 month for every 10 years old you are, but good grief, we're in our 70s. We would have quit a long time ago, and we would have missed the latest miracle. And we're looking for more miracles in our life, but let me have Mike tell you about what happened with his eyesight.
Yeah, this is probably the most pronounced miracle, if you want to call that, that happened with the patches, because I know the patches had a lot to do with it. My doctor in Huntsville, eye doctor, sent me to a specialist in the Woodlands, a retina specialist, because he was seeing the early parts of what they call diabetic retinopathy. And that's a bad word. I know that's a bad word, because it's harmed a lot of people. And what was happening was there was blood vessels in the back of my retina wall were bleeding some and swelling up. And at that time, there was I was 20/20 vision, and I still am 20/20 vision, by the way. But if it gets worse and worse in your eyes, it will begin harming your sight, and you can go blind from that. And so he was basically, you know, most doctors are kind of negative about things. They don't want to cheer you up too much. They give you the bad news and then more bad news. But he looked at it and he said he was close to beginning his treatment that he wanted to do, which was sticking a needle in my eye. And I said, I don't think so. If I can do anything about it, I'm gonna ask the Lord, please, not that one. But he said he was gonna hold up because he wanted us to keep checking it, and it wasn't affecting my sight. And so and it found out that it started getting better and better, and he was giving me good reports. The last 3 times I've talked to him, he said it's better than the last time. And I come to find out that almost never happens. Almost never does it get better when you have that. But again, I was putting a patch, carnosine right here and a glutathione right here, right over my eyes, real close. And also, I believe in prayer, and I believe, you know, God is a healer. And so put those 2 things together, and it was a combination that the devil couldn't take away. My eyes just it's getting better and better, and I'm sure it's going to keep getting better. And so my eyesight is still perfect, but that's a good report, because I know that's a serious disease that goes around, and people who have it have some bad results from that. But you know, I don't have a bad news report. My report is it's getting better and better and better. It's going to keep getting that way.
That's right. That's right. Okay, a question for you, Mike. Are you glad I made you do it?
I'm real glad, because it's made a big difference in my life. The patches is, you know, for that right there. And can I talk about my back?
Oh, yes.
Several years ago, every morning when I got up, I was in so much lower back pain, I couldn't even walk for a few minutes until I stood up and kind of loosened myself around a little bit, and then I could walk, but it still was very painful. Back pain is very painful. And what I started doing is putting a patch right on the place where it was hurting. It was X49, I believe this one was. And I started doing it every night when I went to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, it wasn't long before I started finding out my back is not hurting anymore. And I thought that was really, really amazing, because when you're hurting, you don't feel good. I mean, you hate it. You know, life can get kind of hard when you're hurting real bad, as a lot of people find out. Yeah. But the patches do work for pain. The Eon and the Ice Wave, both of them work on me, because when I fell, I also hurt my shoulder real bad, and I couldn't even raise my arm, and started patching on my shoulder too. And now it's glory to God, you know, hallelujah. I can do it to it. So it's a whole lot better when you're mobile and you're not just really have all kind of stuff messing with your body.
That's right. And he's better looking too. He told me that the other night. What else happened from the patches, I asked, and he said, I look pretty, you tell him.
We don't have to get into that.
So here we are. We just shared our testimony. It's a journey, as you're all in a journey. If you're just beginning your journey, whatever it is, don't give up. The biggest mistake people make is quit. And so as you can see, it folds, it unfolds, it unfolds. It's awesome. Can't wait to get older, because we're going to get older and we're going to stay healthy and we're going to stay pain-free. So with that being said, we're so blessed to have shared this with you. Thank you for coming and listening.